Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Oracle DB online training. So in this session, we are going to look at Oracle RAC important commands that we use regularly. So most of the DBAs who is basically started with the RAC database setups and they don't know about some of the basics and some of the important commands that they need to use on regular basis. So for them, this tutorial is very helpful. So after completion of this today's session, you should be able to understand a lot of things from our session that I'll explain here. What all the topics that we are going to cover. So basically, we are going to target today how to start or stop any RAC database cluster or how to start or stop the RAC database. So apart from that, we are going to look at how to manage instances or how to verify Oracle RAC configuration and the renaming of a control file, data file, SPFile file, and even though a few parameters, we will be looking how to perform those changes. So in order to understand all these steps, please watch till the end of this video so that you can understand everything clearly. And before I move further, I'll request all the new friends to please subscribe our YouTube channel, Oracle DB Online Training. So already you are getting a lot of learning on this YouTube platform. And apart from that, if you want a personal training, please get in touch with me on this contact detail as well as the email provided here. So previously we have looked at what is OCR, voting disk, and before that also we have covered so many different topics as you are already familiar. And I hope you are all enjoying all those videos. And if you have any queries, at any point, you can mention in the comments. I'll definitely try to help as per my time. Okay. And one more thing I just wanted to share with you guys that recently I launched my website. So on this website, you can basically get a lot of stuff like my day-to-day blog stuffs, and even if you want personal trainings or the courses, you can visit our course section and you can get all those stuffs. And there are so many things you can get the detail about our website. And so this is one thing that I wanted to share with you all. Please get in touch with me on various social platforms like Facebook, on Twitter, as well as on Telegram channel, and LinkedIn also you can get in touch with me. So this is basically about our Oracle DB online training details. So please subscribe our channel, and also you can enroll our membership program on the YouTube platform. You can definitely get additional benefit apart from the getting all these videos. You will be basically getting regular contents also related to the topics. So you don't have to worry about, you just have to watch the video and look for the content. So you need to basically a part of our membership program, and then you can basically get all those steps. Okay. So moving further without wasting much time, so we'll move ahead and we'll look all these topics one by one. And the first topic that we are covering is how to start and stop the RAC cluster and grid. So as a database administrator, sometimes we need to basically work upon how to stop and start the cluster. So I'm going to show you what is the exact way of doing the things. Okay. So before we do anything, any stoppage, we have to basically verify what is the current status of the cluster. So you need to execute all these commands. So what I'll just copy all these commands, and then I'll perform all this on the command prompts. Okay, so this is my 2-node RAC system, okay, which is up and running, and you can see that the database name is RAC database, and it has 2 instances, RAC DB1 and RAC DB2. Currently it is a 19C database version, but the same command you can use for the even for 12C and other database version. Okay, so let's move to the commands. So what I'll do, I'll stop the first I'll verify the cluster status, and for that you need to just run the ps-ef grep d.bin command so that you can understand what is the current cluster home location. So this is a grid home location, and this is the binary location. From here you have to basically run the commands. Okay, so for running any commands, you need to basically for stopping a cluster. So there are a few basically resources which is a part of root user, and few are grid. So in order to stop the entire grid infrastructure, you have to use the root user. So this is also one of the confusing people's having a confusion about like whether they should use the grid user or they should use the root user for stopping the cluster. So okay, so for them basically my answer is root user. Okay, so let's verify what is the current status of your cluster. So crsctl check CRS. Okay, so this will provide the current status, whether the services are online or not. So here you can see Oracle High Availability, also called OHAS service, which is currently online. And apart from that, we have another service like Oracle Cluster Ready Services, Synchronization Service, and Event Manager. So all of these services are online on this server. Suppose we want to verify for all the cluster. What you need to do is you have to mention cluster -all, and here you need to mention check. Okay, so check cluster -all. So it will provide all the nodes. Suppose we have the two nodes, node 1 and node 2. So it is providing the information from both the nodes. Okay, so this is a basic commands that you need to verify on a regular basis. Also, as a database administrator, it is our duty to verify all these stuff. Okay, so once you log in any RAC environment, you need to basically verify first what is the binary location, and then from that there you need to execute this command from the root user or the grid users. Okay, after that we need to basically stop the cluster. Okay, so as of now our database is also up and running. So what I'll do, I'll just log into the Oracle user, and first I'll need to stop the database. So in this section I'm going to cover database also. I mean, how to check the database status and how to stop any instance or how to start a database instance. So first thing we'll cover that part, and after that I'll come back to the cluster, that is our grid infrastructure stop and start. Okay, so let's move. That is we have logged in with the Oracle user. So once you log in, you need to run first thing that you need to run as a command is srvctl config database. Okay, so once you'll run this command, you'll get the database unique name which is configured on this cluster. Since my database, since my Oracle home as well as Oracle SID was set, as you can see from the environment, I just run the grep command with the ora command. Ora means it is referring only Oracle related stuffs. Okay, so when I'll execute this command, it will provide me the database instance name as well as the Oracle home base and home location. Okay, so these things are already in my bash profile, and because of that I'm able to run the srvctl. So if it is not, you need to basically set, otherwise you will not be able to execute any one of the commands. Okay, so now we have seen that srvctl config database command is given me this output. So the next thing that you need to do is run the srvctl again, and now you need to mention the -d option. Basically D stands for DB, a DB unique name. Okay, so you provide all these details, and it will provide the database unique name as well as database name, Oracle home location, Oracle user as well as spfile location, password file location, startup option. That means when the database starting, what will be the option of the database, and how to stop the database option. Okay, immediate is the option given here. And apart from that, we have the database role like primary role or automatically managed database. These are the two disk group that are involved in this database. So these are some of the basic things, right, about the RAC environment. And this is basically coming from the configuration part. And these are the two instances of the database, and these are the two nodes on which the RAC database is configured. I hope you are understanding, what is the significance of config command of srvctl. So once the configuration is verified, then you can basically stop the database. For stopping the database, you just have to first verify the status of the database. So for that, you need to run the srvctl status database -d, and it will provide you the database instance status. So, okay, so instance RAC DB1 as well as RAC DB2. These are running on respective nodes, now node 1 as well as node 2. Okay, and after that, what we need to do here is you can basically pass on another parameter with the database unique name, that is -v, that will basically provide the current status. Like, so previously we have seen there is no status, like whether it is in open mode or mount state or any other state. Okay, so now we are able to understand this is in open state. Okay, after that we have to execute the stop command. For stopping the database you need to mention stop database -d. Okay, so it will stop all the instances. Now we have to just verify the database alert log. So for that I just already opened the alert log, which is already up and running. Once my database is down, then I can go ahead with stopping of the cluster. For stopping the cluster, what you need to do is run the crsctl stop crs-f. Okay, so normally people prefer to run the crsctl stop crs, that is for stopping the cluster on the local node. And along with that, you can provide the -f option, because -f is sometimes one of the services or process get stuck, and because of that the stop time is will take a bit of more time. Okay, so as a best thing you can do is provide the -f option. That will basically stop the cluster. A little bit of forceful, that doesn't have any impact as of. Okay, so this is a thing. So now I'll re-verify the database status, so it will be down state. Okay, now I'll switch back, and from here I'll just I already verified all these details, like a crsctl state check cluster -all. Now I'll provide crsctl stop crs-f. Okay, so it will stop all the grid infrastructure on this local node. Okay, so basically this at this junction the failover is happening. That means the services which was running like scan listener or scan listener, basically those services basically they will be switched to the second node. So I'll just verify this part also. I'll just go to the second node. From here I'll run the ps-ef grep pmon and the ps-ef grep d.bin. Okay, so and even though ps-ef grep tns. Okay, so you can see the scan, all the 3 scan listeners are switched to the second node. So this is one thing how you can stop the cluster on specific node. So sometimes it requires we need to stop the only services on one node. So but we have done something different here. We have stopped the entire database, but I'm going to show you how to stop any specific in database instance. Okay, so you just have to run pass on the instance option there. I'll provide you the details. Just give me a couple of seconds. Now we can see that this is stopped, and suppose I need to stop on the second node also. The same thing we have to follow, but it has to be run from the root user, otherwise it will not allow. So the first thing you can do, crsctl status resource -t. Okay, so now we can see that all the services are only running on the node 2, and for stopping them you have to run crsctl stop crs-f. Now it is stopping. Database was already down, and now we are stopping the cluster. And after that we will verify how to start the cluster. Okay, so I'm going to use this srvctl start crs. So in place of stop you have to use start command. It will start your cluster. Okay, so now it is getting stopped. Now cluster is stopped, and next thing that we have to do is again restart the cluster. So in order to start that, you need to basically run crsctl start. You need to remove the -f option there and mention start command. Okay, and same thing we have to run on the first node also. It has to start from the root user. Suppose if you want to verify the logs, you can go to the grid base location. So in my case, grid base location is U01 app grid, and within that we have the diagnostic. So within this we have the CRS. This is the first node alert log for the cluster, and so whenever you face any challenge related to RAC, your first priority has to be look into your alert log of the CRS. So whether it is the first node or second node, you just go through whether there is any abnormality or any errors, and respective errors you need to verify with the respective trace files. Okay, trace have a very significant role to play whenever we troubleshoot any RAC environment issues. So in coming days, I'm going to make another video related to how you can troubleshoot and how you can come out of any situation where your RAC database is having some issue. So please subscribe our YouTube channel if you're a new member on our YouTube channel. You are going to definitely get a lot of benefit from this channel. Okay, so also watch all other videos that we have previously uploaded. There are a lot of good content as well. So as of now, this is getting started. The next thing that we can do is verify the current CRS status. So you can see that all the services are currently online. Okay, that means my cluster is started. On first node, I can just run the ps-ef grep daemon as well as c.bin to verify all the services. Okay, and again I'll just run the tns command also. So listener, local listener is started, scan listener as well as the ASM listener. So all these listeners are started. Okay, and apart from that, same thing I'm going to verify on the second node. So here also this is started. After this, we will just move ahead and we'll look how to stop the entire clusterware. But in that case, we have to run explicitly stop the hash. So suppose we are having two nodes and we want to stop ASM as well as some of the services which is related to your cluster on both the nodes together. So what you can do, you can execute crsctl stop cluster -all. But still the high availability service, that is this one, Oracle high availability service, that will remain online. For that you need to execute commands manually. Okay, I'm going to show how you have to do the same thing. So you just run crsctl stop cluster -all. Okay, so with this command, I think both the nodes cluster, services will stop, and we'll verify what all the services are basically got stopped. So here you can see the node 1 related services and node 2 services are getting stopped. Okay, and so that means from one node you are managing the entire cluster wide stoppage. Okay, but still at the end of this stop command, there are few services which is related to Oracle high availability service or hash service. You have to manually bring down them. Okay, there are two ways of stopping the CRS. One we have seen earlier and another is right now. Okay, so if you run d.bin, so few services are currently online, or hash services. So OHASD, basically it has another few services associated with it, like mdnsd.bin and gpnpd.bin, gipcd.bin, osysmon.bin. Okay, so all these services are basically part of OHASD. So we have to stop OHASD also. The same situation is on the second node also. You have to just verify it. ps-grep daemon b.bin. Okay, and now I'm going to execute another query to stop the hash. Okay, so for that you have to run crsctl stop hash. And again, same thing we have to do on the second node also. with this, our cluster stop and start function, check is completed, but still I need to restart it because we need to perform some other operation as per our mentioned details. So let me just start it again. Start CRS. Same thing I have to do here also. Start. So now we can see that it is started. Let's verify it again. ps-em grep pmon. It is started on the first node, and after that I'll just start the database instance also. So previously we have looked at how to start, how to stop the database. So now I'm going to start the database. Okay, so let's open the alert log of both the nodes from where we need to verify. So as of now, database is down. I'm going to just run status command before I'll do anything. So check CRS is one command, and status resource -t is another command, status resource -t. I think ASM is still starting, so we need to wait. Okay, so it is started now. So let's log in with Oracle and start the database instance. For starting the database instance, what we have to do, we have to execute srvctl status database -d command. So to verify what is the current status, and after that we can start the database. So in place of status, you just have to mention start command, and it will invoke the database start. Okay. So with this, we are managing both the database instance, or maybe if we have another 3 instances, so it will manage all the 3 instances. Now we can see the alert log, it has everything. Okay. So most of these commands you might be already familiar, but for few of the new beginners who is basically started in working on RAC environments, for them this is very helpful. Just wanted to help them, so I just made this video. Okay, and please go through, and if you have any query at any junction, please mention in the comment. I'll definitely try to help. Okay, but and suppose if you are working with any command like crsctl related command. Okay, so crsctl basically it is used to manage the CRS resources. Okay, cluster control basically it is called, and srvctl is server control utility that is basically used to manage the database and Oracle database related services. Okay, so now we have started our database, and there are a lot of other commands also, like even though you can modify the configuration using srvctl modify, and even though you can add new instances using add command, srvctl add. So you have to you can use this srvctl utility or crsctl utility for various other purposes also, and you just have to maybe if you don't know the commands, you can mention srvctl help =y, and it will provide you all the details. So now we have started the database, we can verify it. And if you want any help regarding this query, so what you can do is crsctl srvctl and -help command. So it will provide you all the related commands that you can use, like start, stop, remove, add, enable, stop. So there are a lot of things are there. You can just verify all of them one by one. And I think with this help command, you can basically do different operations related to database. And even though you can disable few of the features using srvctls, and even though you can manage the scan listeners also, or a normal listener also. So there are a lot of things that you can do using the srvctl commands, and the same way you can do from the crsctl commands. So basically, next part that we are looking was to how to manage. Okay, so configuration part we have already, sorry, let me just go back. So first we have to, so cluster stop and start we have already seen, and the configuration part also need to verify. So the next thing that we are going to look how to verify the configuration. So crsctl query crsactive-def. This is the command that we can use to verify the everything. So let me just execute these commands. So with this command, you can see that crsctl query crs active version-f. So here you can verify what is the current version of your cluster. So we can see that it is a 19 C version, and the cluster upgrade state is currently normal, and active patch level is this one. Okay, so so basically you can verify various configuration also using the crsctl commands. And a few of the other commands that we can verify, like what is the current software version. So in place of active version, you can mention software version. Okay, so software version is nothing but this part. So it is currently 19 version, and crsctl config. So currently you can see the auto start is enabled. That means whenever the server gets rebooted or anything will happen on the server, so your CRS related services, basically they will be auto start mode. Okay, so Oracle high availability service is basically auto start mode currently, and even you can disable or enable this using just, you have to mention enable or disable. Okay. And again, you can mention enable to enable it automatically. So this is how you can verify the current configuration of CRS. And one more important query, OLS nodes. Basically, if you don't know what all the current nodes in your cluster, so you can run OLS nodes -n and t. So currently, you can see the node is 1, node 1 is 1, node 2 is 2, and you can verify the status, like whether it is pinned or unpinned state. Okay. So this is a few of the basic commands, and if you want anything further related to these commands, what you can do, you can just run the help command for respective commands. Like if you want to know more about crsctl, so -help will provide you the more details, like crsctl add, check, config, create, debug, delete, disable. So there are a lot of things you can do, and basically you can verify all these commands. And again, if you don't know about much about adding particular commands, what you can do, crsctl add -help. Okay, so it will provide you the detail about the further options that you need to use with the add option. Okay, so it's a complete syntax you can get from the help commands. I hope you are understanding things. Okay, so next moving to the next topic, that is how to stop and start the RAC database and instance. So we have already seen how to stop the database and how to start the database, but now we are going to look how to manage the instances. Okay, so sometimes we need to stop a particular instance only and start or stop the instance rather than stopping the entire database. So whenever we talk about the database, that means it is nothing but all the database instances within a database, RAC database. Okay, so suppose we just want to stop a particular instance. For that, again, the same thing, your home should be set, and you need to just first verify the status of the database. So once you verify the database status, what you can verify the database status of the instance also. Here you have to mention -instance -i and the instance name like RAC DB1 and -d option as a database unique name and -v option. Okay. And suppose you want to stop the only second instance from the first instance. So what you can do, first verify the status of second instance, and after that you have to mention the stop command here. Okay, so it will stop the second instance. So now you can see the logs also. From the log we can clearly see that this is stopping the second instance. Okay. So same way you can do vice versa, like from second node you can stop the first instance, and from second, and even though you can stop all the entire database from any nodes. So because of the clustering feature, OCR is having all this information. From there we can stop the database instances. Okay. Yeah, so there is another options like if you want to start the database in particular state of the database, so you can just mention -o option with the database mount state or open mode. So it is basically an option that you can provide while starting or stopping the database. So again, I'll just re-verify the instance to status and status database -d, and this is the option. So now you can see only first instance, that is RAC DB1 is running. And again, I can restart the database from first node, second instance. It's now started. So it is getting started. And after this, we are going to look at how to manage or how to rename a control file. For that, we are going to use these commands. First, we have to log in into the database, and after that, we are going to modify the control file parameters, and then we have to copy the control file. And once the control file is copied, then you can start the database. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly perform all these operations, and let's verify it. Okay, so now we have both the databases up and running, and now I'll log into the database. So parameter control underscore files. Sorry. So parameter. So here you can see that control file is having 3 locations. So now I'm going to add another control file in this. And even though you can remove a location of the existing control file, or you can add additional control file. So suppose if your environment is having only one control file and you want to add additional some more control file on the ASM based location. So what you have to do is first you have to modify the parameters, and after that you need to basically copy it in the backgrounds. Okay, so let me just copy all these commands. Okay, so currently we have 3 control file location is already in place, and additionally we'll be adding another control file, that is control 4. Okay, once we'll modify the parameters, I need to just copy it in the backgrounds. So this is modified. So as a best practice, you should always take the SV file backup, and before doing anything, you just make a copy of your P file or SV file, so that you don't have to worry about once changes is done or if there is any issue. Okay, so after this, you have to bring down the database and stop the database first, and after that you need to log in. Once the database gets stopped, you have to log in through ASM CMD utility, and in the background you need to copy the control file So database is getting stopped, and after that, okay. So now my database stopped, and after that I'll re-verify, and from here I'll log in with the grid users. Okay. And ASM-CMD commands that I'm going to use. So as of now, I'm not covering about ASM-CMD, and here just run ls-lrt. And our target is to copy the existing control file with a new name of control 40. So I'll go to the RAC DB location. First verify the space, so it doesn't require much space, but you can run lsdg command so that you can verify the space. So currently data disk group mount point is having 6 GB of space. That means we can use it. Okay, so here you run the ls command. So currently we have a control 01 as well as control 03. I'm going to just copy another control file. So cp control, what we have modified, that is important. So I think we have copied within the same. Okay, so control 02 is on the archive location, that's it. Okay, and we have to copy on the data disk group. So existing any control file, you have to make another duplicate with the name as 04. Okay, 04.ctl. So once you copy it, then you have to basically verify it whether it is copied. So now we have the control 4 also on this place, and I'll just go back to Oracle prompt. From here, I'll just log in with srvctl. And sorry, I need to just start the database first, and then we need to verify. So srvctl start database -d, and it will start both the instances. So with this, our control file modification and multiplexing part is over, and we'll now move ahead with another point, that is how to manage a spfile in RAC environment. Okay, so again, the same thing that we need to do. I mean, I'll provide you the details how you have to do. So you can run the so parameter spfile that will provide you the current spfile location. And if you want to modify the spfile, so what you need to do first, create a new p file as a backup. And after that, you can basically create spfile to the any location, like create spfile, and you need to provide the location like plus data disk groups, and within that you might have created subdirectories, and from if you are using a p file, so you have to provide the p file location. Okay, and after that it will create on this location. And even though you can create SP file from memory, and this is how you can do it. But after doing this, you have to again modify using srvctl the new location, because we are managing our database from the srvctl configuration file, right? So if you run srvctl config command for this database, config database -d, so it will provide you the current location of SP file. So in order to modify this location, you have to basically make a change in configuration. So what you have to do, you have to mention srvctl modify command here, modify database -d RAC DB, and here we want to mention SP file space, then the new location that you are going to, like SP file underscore new, and it will modify the details from here also. So first you have to basically log in into the SQL prompt, and from there you need to basically modify. So let me just do some quick execution. So what I'm going to do, I'll first log in with the SQL plus prompt. From here and just run db, and then so parameter SP file, so it will provide the current location. So as you can see, this is the current location. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'll create another SP file, create SP file equal to, and here I need to provide the location like a parameter equal to SP file underscore new, or new from memory. So from memory, I'm going to perform this operation. So now this file will get created, and for this I need to modify also on configuration level. So for that I just use this command. Okay. We have to mention, I think, p file. So I'm going to use the help option here, and here we have to mention -sp, not sp. Okay, because of sp it is throwing me the error, so I need to mention -sp file so that it can understand. So now it is modified, and you can re-verify the configuration. So this change to the sp file location. So first we'll stop the database and restart the database so that we can understand whether it is completed or not. The change has to be reflected. Okay. So we have run the stop command, and after that we'll again start the database. I hope you are understanding anything, everything. If you have any question, any point, you can just mention in the comment. And there is another important announcement that in coming days I'm going to make. Mostly, I can provide you the hint that I'm going to start the new batch. So please watch our community page, so you will get all the details. Now we can see the database stopped, and again I'm going to start the database. So now database getting started. I hope you are able to understand how to rename or replace your existing SC files. Okay, so again, I'm going to just verify the database details. So pluggable database getting started. So another request from you guys, because I just wanted to know what is the next topic that you want to learn. Please specify in the comment. That will also going to help me with the new videos. Okay. So I just want to take a good idea from you people, so that based upon that, I'm going to create another video. So just verify current SC file. So parameter SC file will provide you the new control, new SC file location. Okay. So this is we have verified, and I think we have understood this part. So now we can move ahead with this. So next part that I'm going to do cover is related to data file management in RAC database environment. And first we are going to verify all the existing data file, and then I'm going to add a new data file in the RAC environment. So basically the idea is to understand how you can add any table space and how to add a data file quickly in particular disk groups, and what is this difference between these two, and even though verifying it again. So all those things we are going to look, and then we are going to look how to rename a particular data file. So everything is mentioned here. I'm going to perform all the operations. Okay, so let's move quickly, and first thing we'll log in and we'll verify the details. So first verify existing table space, like so as of now, you can see there are a lot of table space, but our target is to add only on the users table space. Okay, so because of pluggable database, we have some another data files are which we can see, and our target is to only add a data file in the existing container. Okay, so as of now, you can see user 1, user 2, as well as some other data file naming convention for user table space is already there in the system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just add another file by providing the complete location. So here you can mention like user 3, and you need to provide, so alter table space name, add data file, and the location of the data file along with the size. And even though you can mention auto extend on or off, so those things you can do. Okay, so this is how you can add. So plus signature is very important whenever you are managing ASM based locations. Okay, if you miss a plus location, it will throw an error, but don't do that. Basically mention the plus signature, re-verify before firing any commands. Okay, so this is one thing, and apart from that, you can also add another disk data file by just providing the disk group name. So I'm going to add another file, and then we will re-verify the commands. Okay, let us just verify this table space again, what all the files exist. So here you can see this new file is having 03, and this is basically added only in the data file. So automatically the naming convention is managed by this database. So because of that, it has added a system generated file numbering. Okay, so and the same way we have to manage a redo log file also. And before we do anything further, I'm going to just rename this data file. So for renaming this data file, I need to take it offline. So alter database data file. Okay, so alter database data file, and this is the data file number, and we have to take it offline before doing anything. Offline. So once the data file is offline, what you can do, you can copy on the new location. So I'm going to just log in with ASM CMD from the grid user, and so once I log in ASM CMD -p. Okay. And here I need to go to the location, which is this part. So here we have the data file which we need to modify. So let me just, sorry, we have to go on this path, not that one. And here we have another data files, like users related data files are there. So we have to rename users data file. So let me just re-verify. So these are the data files that we have to rename. Okay, so what we need to do, we have to just make a copy, or even though you can move it. So I'm going to make it 04.pdf. Okay. Again, I'm just going to verify it, user star. So here you can see this file is there. Okay, after that we need to just go to the database, and from there I need to run the rename commands. Copy into the database. So once you have copied, then you have to log in into the database. And once you log in, and again, you need to just re-verify the data file location. So I just re-verify. So our target is to rename this file. So for that, you need to run commands like alter table space users, then rename data file, and then you have to provide the original location to the new location. Sorry, for new location I mean 04.dbf. Okay. So with this, it will modify the detail in the control file also, and physically this file is already there, and now I can make it online. So for that, you just have to run enter database data file, and you can directly provide the name or file ID online keyword. Okay. So you have to run recovery also. Alter database data file 16. Sorry, we have to record file 16, not 6. After that, you can make it online. So run the online command to make it online. Okay. So I hope you have understood how to rename a data file in RAC environment. So this is the similar to your normal data file management on the OS-based location, but the only difference here we are doing is we have to copy on ASM-based location that we have already done. Okay. So with this, we have completed data file management part, and now we are going to move ahead with the redo log management. Okay, so for redo log management, we have basically how to add a redo log and how to rename the redo log. So which is nothing but similar to your data file management. So you have to run the alter database add log file, and here you have to very carefully mention the thread number. So if you have the 3 nodes, so you have to mention like thread 1, thread 2, or subsequently. Okay. And again, you can verify the members details. So, and you can verify the group. So I'm just going to execute few of the commands so that you can understand. So here you can see that we have 2 nodes, that is thread 1 as well as thread 2, and each thread is having 3 different groups, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and again for thread 2 we have another 3 groups, 3, 4, and 6, and these are the one members, and these are the member location. Additionally, we can add another log groups in particular thread. So suppose I'm going to add 7 in thread 1 and 8 group in the thread 2. So name can be like 7 and this can be 8. Make sure the size should be similar, otherwise this balance will happen. So with this, we have added this one on thread 1, and this is the group 1, this is thread 2, group name, group number you have given. And after that, we can re-verify it, and we have another 2 member. So I can just make it sort with a thread number so that we can order by thread hash. So for thread 1, we can have all these different groups, 4 groups, and thread 2 also having us 4 groups. So this is how you can manage, and even though you can remove the existing. So suppose if you want to increase the size of this 200 to 500, so what you can do, you can add the new members with a size of 500 MBs, and you can remove the existing redo log groups by running the alter system switch log file or current checkpoints. So that way also you can manage the redo log very easily. Okay. I hope you have understood that part, and after that we are moving further with the parameter level change, how to modify any parameters. So suppose we have we need to modify current SGA. So what you can do, you can run the show parameter SGA commands, and you can see that we have the SGA of 3.5 MB, 3.5 GB, and if you want to reduce it to 3.1 MB, so what you can do, you can modify this parameter. The only thing that you need to take care in RAC environment, you have to mention the SIDs. Okay, so suppose I need to modify it to 3100, and for that I can just execute these commands. Okay, scope, you have to mention spfile, and SID, in the SID you can mention the extra asterisk. Okay, suppose if you want to modify for a particular instance, then you have to mention the instance. After this you need to restart and verify the details. Okay, so that is the simplest way of managing the SV file in RAC environment. And with this, I hope you are able to understand everything. And if you have any queries, you can just mention in comment box. I'll definitely try to help. And with this, we are stopping here. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Have a great day. Please subscribe our YouTube channel. If you have any question, please send us a detail. And also you can enroll our membership. And if you want any personal training, please call me on the number which is given in the description as well. So with this, we are stopping. We'll meet in the next session. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.